the city of Strasbourg. Strasbourg was part of the Holy Roman Empire, a bustling city on the Rhine. In 1518, it was summer, and the city was suffering crop failures, famine, disease, constant fear of plague, and divine punishment. In a time ruled by religion, mystery, and fear, the people of Strasbourg believed the line between the spiritual and physical world was paper thin. So when the first woman began to dance, no one laughed. They feared the divine had spoken. It began with a single woman. She stepped into the street and began to dance. No music, no joy, just movement, erratic, frantic, unstoppable. Within days, dozens joined her, then hundreds, their bodies convulsed. Their feet bled, and still they danced, not for fun, not for celebration. They danced until they collapsed. Some danced until they died. This is the true story of the dancing plague of 1518. One of the most bizarre events in recorded history. And to this day, no one knows why it happened. The city of Strasbourg. Strasbourg was part of the Holy Roman Empire, a bustling city on the Rhine. In 1518, it was summer, and the city was suffering crop failures, famine, disease, constant fear of plague, and divine punishment. In a time ruled by religion, mystery, and fear, the people of Strasbourg believed the line between the spiritual and physical world was paper thin. So when the first woman began to dance, no one laughed. They feared the divine had spoken. Frau Traffia, the first dancer. The plague began with a woman named Frau Traffia. She stepped into the street and danced for hours, then days. She showed signs of distress, but couldn't stop. She danced until her feet bled. She didn't laugh or sing. She wept. She begged to stop, but her body had declared war on her will. Within a week, over 30 people had joined her. By the end of the month, more than 400. An epidemic of motion. People danced in public squares, on bridges, in churches. Some foamed at the mouth, collapsed in exhaustion, or suffered fatal strokes and heart attacks. Contemporary accounts describe a scene of horror. Dancers howling in pain, their feet raw and bleeding, their minds seemingly elsewhere. Town leaders were bewildered. No plague, no poison, no explanation, and it wasn't isolated. Similar dancing outbreaks occurred earlier in Aachen 1374, Metz, Cologne, and elsewhere in medieval Europe. Why did this happen? Why then? Why there? And most terrifying of all, could it happen again? Doctors, priests in panic. Local physicians ruled out disease. Their conclusion, overheated blood and humoral imbalance. Their cure, more dancing. A stage was built. Musicians were hired. They believed that dancers had to dance the sickness out. Imagine watching people dance to death and deciding to give them a platform and a band. Meanwhile, religious leaders suspected demonic possession, divine punishment, a curse from Saint Vitus, patron of dancing and epilepsy. Pilgrimages were organized to Saint Vitus' shrine to pray for forgiveness. Theories, Part 1. Poison or parasite. Theory number 1. Ergot poisoning. Ergot is a mold that grows on rye in damp conditions. Contains LSD-like alkaloids, causing convulsions, hallucinations, muscle spasms, and mania. Could the people of Strasbourg have eaten tainted bread and suffered a collective psychedelic nightmare? Problems with theory. Doesn't explain why they danced in sync. doesn't last weeks without food or water. Would have affected other towns nearby, but didn't. Theories, Part 2. Mass hysteria and psychological trauma. Theory number 2. Mass psychogenic illness, or mass hysteria. 1518 was a time of immense stress, starvation, plague, constant death, apocalyptic beliefs. When the human mind cannot cope, it finds ways to scream through the body. This was not joy, it was mass trauma with rhythm. Psychological trigger. Religious belief that Saint Vitus could curse you to dance. People may have believed they were possessed and acted accordingly. Modern examples: laughing epidemic at Tanganyika, 1962. Coral syndrome. Belief of vanishing genitals in Southeast Asia. Even TikTok illnesses show how ideas spread physically today. Unsolved mysteries and modern echoes. No single theory explains everything. Could it have been a combination of malnutrition, psychological stress, religious fear, groupthink? Today, we call it conversion disorder or psychosomatic outbreak. The mind is powerful enough to break the body. That's what makes the dancing plague so terrifying. It was both invisible and contagious. No one knows how the dancing plague ended. It simply stopped. Maybe the fever broke. Maybe the fear faded. Maybe the pain became too much. But the question lingers like the echo of footsteps. If it happened once, could it happen again?